Good morning, YouTube. It's Arwen of Tarot by Arwen, and we're going to talk about the twos today in this tarot lesson. And I've pulled cards from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different decks. We have two self-published and then three that are not self-published, and they're all readily available except for one. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. In tarot, numerology is an important piece of it for some people. Some people don't care. Some people do it in small groups. 1, 2, 3 is a story. 4, 5, 6 is a story. Others, 1 through 10 is the full story. So you need to kind of check your deck and look at your suits to see which it is. Twos are about balance. They're about others, where ones were about self and individuality. This is where somebody else comes in, and it's and sometimes it's yourself. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We'll start with air or swords. This is the Eastern suit for me, and we're going to look at the Rider-Waite. This is the Pamela Coleman Smith commemorative edition. Love it. And you see the woman sitting on the shore. The water behind her represents emotion. The two swords are her two decisions, her two ideas. In this, she's not, this is about her meeting herself. Okay, it's, and she's blindfolded. This card is also, the twos are connected with the High Priestess, with Justice, which is 11, and then with, 20. Sorry, Judgment. I was like, where am I going? Because you add the 2 down. So when you get a 2, particularly a 2 of air, think about things going on in your head, what you're struggling with, maybe decisions to make. The next one is from the Portico Tarot. It's by Elizabeth Leggett. And she really captures that. You see that in the 2 faces, the 2 swords. So that's the internal conflict going on there. In the Gaian Tarot, and this one is not easily available, but it will be in March. You can pre-order now. One of my cats is tearing something up. Sorry, y'all. From Schiffer. Thank you, Schiffer. And this is the 2 of air. She has 2 birds up here. They're cedar waxwings, I believe. And she's getting messages from both. So which one is she going to take? Again, up here. Now here's a very unusual deck. It's called the Wooden Tarot. I don't know who it's by offhand. I'm so sorry. Let me get down here and look it up. A.L. Swartz. And I got this, I ran across it on Etsy and was like, wow. And it really blew me away. But it's plumes. She has 2 wings. The yin-yang there, or the, that's not a yin-yang, Arwen. It is the, y'all, wow. It's the moon. Is it waxing or is it waning? Depends on time of year, I guess, and where you are located. And the Lemniscate up above, the infinity symbol. So I really like this. I like that there's black and white. I like that the 2 wings on either side of that moon changing. So what's going on up here? And the last is from the Mystical Cat Tarot. And it's the 2 of sky. There are 2 banners behind this cat. The cat's trying to make a decision on which way to go. It's thinking. Next we go to our fire or wands or south suit. Very classic, right? Guy standing there looking out. He's got a globe in his hand. Where is he going? Which passion will he follow? Passionate fire, energy, spirit. From the Portico, We have the globe in the background, the Cuban cigar, which is a nice touch, and then the other Cuban cigar. Nice fire representation, right? So which to do, which to use? Goodness, sorry, y'all. And from the Gaian, we have the two fire baton people. Now, interestingly enough, these people are not a couple. They're a working partnership. They work with their passion, you know, and we know you don't have to have love involved. Friendship is a type of fire, and even antagonism is a type of fire. We feed each other when we're antagonists. You know, my dislike of somebody feeds their dislike of me. So I get involved in that icky cycle. So don't do it. Here's the wooden. And the wooden, now, stones are the wooden fire. It's an interesting one, but you can see she does red color. She does imagery that leads you to that. And also on her court cards, you get the fire image. But this is the ram horns. And ram, of course, is Aries, which is a fire sign. And again, you see that she does a lemniscate for her twos. But look at the coiled energy of those horns. Two of fire from the Mystic Cats. And I like that she has her twos as decision makers. The cats that, will I go in, will I go out? Will I go in, will I go out? If you've ever owned a cat, you've played that game. Now let's move to our water suit, West, and or cups. Very traditional cups here. That's what most of us are familiar with if you've been studying the tarot. The figure over them is representative of the angel and the lovers. And the caduceus, do you see this? Yeah, heart, healing, emotion, making an emotional decision. The portico, two cups, two hands. Is that not gorgeous? And if you haven't seen this deck, I'll put a link down there. It's really, really gorgeous. Elizabeth is an amazing artist. Now from the Gaian, get that nice waterfall in the back, and a woman and her dog. So it takes it away from love, you know, just another human, but love we express, love we receive. So it's that back and forth, that two, that balance. Blooms in the wooden tarot. And we have two, I believe those are mums, but I'm not sure. Maybe they're artichokes, no. But the lemniscate. Right, now this deck's a little more difficult to read if you're a brand new reader, or probably not a brand new reader could read it with it really easily, but if you're a reader who studied some and has, you know, you're kind of in that Rider-Waite system and you haven't had a chance to travel some channels and break out a little bit, that can be a difficult deck for somebody who's, I would think, either a brand new beginner or somebody who has made that break. It was hard for me to make that break from the Rider-Waite, and I'd look at the deck and go, that doesn't work for me. And I had to let my mind open up and let my intuition kind of engage. So for this, you would say, you know, which way is the heart going to blossom? Which way is the heart going to bloom? The cats. The two of sea, two cats drinking from one fountain. You see the lion there? That's a definite Rider-Waite nod to the winged lion. So emotional choices. Choices in all these twos. And our last two, excuse me, I'm looking for a card that seems to have gone missing. Well, I guess we're not going to talk about it. 1 foot up, 1 foot planted, ships in the background on very crazy waves, and the Lynch-Poe right there in those twos. And this is a card of balancing work and play for me. It's generally, you know, which one do I give more energy to? Here is the Portico Tarot. Very nice. We have the 2 spheres, the 2 hands, and it's a juggling act. Juggling the 1 ball on the top, juggling the 1 ball on the palm. This is a favorite. It's the 2 of Earth and the Gaian. And I have to show you, see the angry baby's hand? Yep, flipping you the finger. This is a dad at the market trying to balance his twins. You got calm baby, happy baby, or mad baby. And what I tell people is if you've ever been a parent, you know if you give too much attention to the crying baby, the other baby's going to kick in. So you got to balance that so you can keep them both somewhat satisfied. And from the wooden tarot, we have bones, 2 jaw bones, and that's a top and a bottom. So what are you chewing on? What are you gonna make? Speaking of bones, Lupa Greenwolf is doing her tarot of bones. It was a Kickstarter. It did get funded. It should be out next month. Not next month. I can hear Lupa screaming now. It should be out next year. And she's doing it all with bones and castings of bones. It's a very intriguing deck. And she's a shaman over in the Pacific Northwest, I believe. And she does a lot of books with Llewellyn. And here is the 2 of Earth and the Mystic Cats. The cat is happily balancing 2 apples. This is a very physical suit, Earth. Let me look one more time, see if I can find that card that's gone missing. Well, y'all, I don't know where it went. I do apologize. But when you think of twos, think of balance. Make that one of your primary pieces when a 2 shows up in a reading. And, you know, what is the area of balance? Is it air? Is it a mental balance? Is it fire? Is it a passion, heart, balance? Cups, is it an emotional balance? You know, earth, is it a physical balance? That's kind of what you're looking at. I was trying to find, I had the High Priestess pulled out so I could show you the connection. There she is, I found her. She was hiding under the wooden tarot. So there's the High Priestess, which is the first of the 2s. And you've got that balance. You've got Boaz and Joaquin, the 2 pillars. So this has been your 2 lesson. I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm Arwen of Tarot by Arwen. Yes, I do longer readings. I do private readings, consultations. Just go to tarotbyarwen.com and click on Work with Arwen and find the appointments, and you can set yourself up an appointment. And I hope we did to do a reading together. I do get booked up, so I'm sorry if it's a long wait, but let's work together. Seek joy, y'all. Pass it on.